You know that feeling of safety? Our cozy routines, our predictable jobs, we love it. We call it our comfort zone. But what if that feeling of comfort, that safety, isn't actually a safe harbor? What if it's a trap? That's the big idea we're going to dig into today.
I love this quote. It just hits the nail on the head, right? It suggests that what we're really made for lies just outside of what feels easy and secure. And to really get what that means, we're going to explore this whole idea through a really powerful story.
So, to understand this paradox, we're going to follow the story of a magnificent falcon. His name was Orion, and he had to learn the hard way that the thing he thought was safety, well, it was actually the biggest trap of his life.
And let's be real, there's nothing wrong with a comfort zone. I mean, it feels good, it's secure, it's the one place where we feel like we're in control and everything is, well, comfortable. It's just so tempting because it promises us a life with no struggle. But here is the big question, the one that changes everything. What if the very walls we build to keep all the bad stuff out are also keeping our true selves locked in? This right here is the real danger of the golden cage.
So, let's meet Orion. He lived in what you'd probably call a perfect world, a world with absolutely zero risk. But, as we're about to find out, that perfection, it came at a seriously high price. I mean, Orion's life was the definition of easy street. A servant literally brought him fresh meat on a silver plate every single morning. The king would come by and admire him. He was totally protected from storms, predators, everything. On the surface, you'd think, wow, he has it all. But then one day, this tired old crow lands on his cage. And this is where it all becomes so clear. Just look at the two columns here. For Orion, you've got guaranteed food, total safety. For the crow, constant danger, having to hunt for every single bite. But that last row, well, that says it all, doesn't it? The crow was realizing its true potential, while Orion's was completely caged. The crow's words just cut right to the heart of it. You have food, Orion, but you do not have the sky. Whoa, a full belly is one thing for sure, but the sky, the endless open sky, the entire reason for being a falcon, that's what Orion had traded away, without even knowing it.
You can imagine that conversation planted a seed of doubt. And, you know, like in any good story about being trapped, a moment comes when freedom is suddenly a real possibility. For Orion, that moment showed up when he least expected it.
His chance was right there. The door was wide open, the path to the sky was clear as day. But Orion, he was frozen. His heart wasn't pounding with excitement, it was pounding with pure terror. And that moment shows you the real prison wasn't the golden bars, it was the fear inside his own mind. There's actually a psychological term for this. It's called loss aversion. The fear of losing what you have feels way stronger than the potential of what you might gain.
And these fears, these are the invisible bars of the cage. They're not made of metal, they're made of what-ifs. Doubts like, what if I fall? Or what if I can't find food out there? Sound familiar? I mean, these are the same fears that keep us locked in our own comfort zones, totally paralyzed by the great unknown.
So, okay, let's hit pause on Orion's story for just a second and ask ourselves, what does a golden cage look like in our lives? Because it's probably not made of actual gold.
Maybe your golden bars are that steady paycheck from a job that just kind of drains your soul. Or an easy habit you know is holding you back. A lot of the time, it's the fear of failing, or even just worrying about what other people might think. These things feel safe, but they can stop us from ever really growing.
So as Orion is sitting there, hesitating, he sees this beautiful but really sad peacock in the garden. And the peacock tells him that even though everyone admires his beauty, he's really just a decoration. His beauty is just a different kind of cage. It's another powerful lesson. A life where people admire you for being safe is not the same as a life of being truly alive. And this brings us right to the climax of the story. Orion is at a crossroads. Does he retreat back into the familiar comfort of his cage, or does he take that terrifying leap into the complete unknown? And what's really at stake here is his potential, his ability to become something greater. This is the very core of who he is, the falcon he was literally born to be. And if we stay in our comfort zones, we never, ever find out what we're actually capable of. He's standing there, right on the edge, his legs shaking. He thinks about the risk. I might fall. But then, this other thought pushes through. But I might fly. And in that one moment, balancing the fear with that little bit of hope, he makes his choice. He jumped.
And his flight, it wasn't graceful at first. Not at all. It was a clumsy, awkward struggle. And that struggle always follows this kind of process, right? First, you have to confront the fear. Then, you make the choice to act anyway. After that, you've got to endure the hard part, the struggle. And it's only through that struggle that you finally discover the strength you had inside you all along.
And that's the reality of real freedom. It wasn't easy. He was cold, he was hungry, but for the first time ever, he felt the wind under his wings. He felt powerful, he felt alive. He was finally, truly becoming the falcon he was always meant to be.
So let's bring this all back home. Orion's journey from a cozy golden cage to the wide open sky, it's really just a powerful metaphor for our own lives, isn't it? Here's the ultimate takeaway, the bottom line. The comfort zone, your personal golden cage, is so tempting. It's warm, it's easy, it promises safety. But what Orion's story really shows us is that the door is often wide open, and the only thing truly keeping us inside is us.
And so, we're left with one final question. We all have our own cages and our own open doors. So, what's the sky that's waiting for you? What's it going to take for you to make that leap? The door's open. The choice is yours.